what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trenopole, the Iceman. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of Houday Nation, baby. Now, do me a favor, if you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. I'm up to 1,116 subscribers. That is awesome. Let's keep it rolling. Try to get to 1,000 or 10,000 as fast as we can. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys, we got a special guest today. He's another James Rapine, but you know, this whole week, it's been weird. It's like there's something missing. Like, you know, I can't figure out what it is. It's like I'm missing a bag, some kind of like a dime bag or a D bag or something like that. Oh, wait, I know who it is. Jeremy, you're back.
I am back, my friend. How are you doing?
Good. I'm glad you recovered from your COVID vaccine.
Yeah. It wasn't much at all. Won't get into it, but you know, a little sore throat, little
honestly, nobody cares. They just want to get to James, right? So
I know, right? So why am I even blabbing?
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get to it from Locked On Bengals and Sports Illustrated. My man James Rapine. What's going on, James? How are you, buddy?
What's up, fellas? I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, pretty good till about an hour ago, and I think the Bengals Twitter blew up with Morgan Moses. Thoughts? What do you think about the Bengals possibly? I mean, I don't even know if the Bengals are even thinking about it, but what do you think?
They should be thinking about it. They should absolutely be thinking about it. And look, you're talking about a guy who hasn't missed a regular season start since 2015. He's 30 years old. He was Pro Football Focus's 6th ranked tackle last year. I mean, he had an 80 overall score. And while that was a career year, even if he's close to that, that's probably better than what Riley Reiff is going to give you, or around the same. 2, it allows you to kick Riley Reiff inside to left guard. Mm-hmm. And now from left to right, you're talking about Jonah Williams, Riley Reiff, Trey Hopkins when he's healthy, Jackson Carman, who they love, and then this Morgan Moses guy who could be a huge addition. So sign me up all day long. I was actually on board with potentially giving up a pick for him, but now that he's released,
you don't have to, right?
This is a no-brainer. Right. I would certainly reach out and I'd offer him a starting job and see if you could get something done.
Yeah, I tweeted it and I put it on Facebook page and somebody was like, "Well, I'd be okay with that if Riley Reiff is okay with moving to guard." I mean, Reiff said on his press conference, "I'll play guard, I'll play tackle, I'll play wherever you want." So I don't think that would be even remotely an issue. Reiff is a team player, and if you get Moses at right tackle, dude, I think our offensive line goes from good to very good.
Go ahead, Jeremy. Sorry.
I was just going to ask you real quick, what would be the ideal deal, I guess, for Cincinnati to bring him in? What would you see as in long-term and money-wise?
Well, I think it's a 1-year type deal, not only for the Bengals, but for Morgan Moses. If I'm Moses at this stage, not a lot of teams have cap space. I want to reestablish my value and retest the market again next offseason. So much like Riley Reiff, 1-year type deal. The Bengals have over $22 million in cap space, which gives them plenty of room to extend Jesse Bates, extend Sam Hubbard if they want to do both, and still fit Moses in their plans. Right. So as far as money for 2021, he was making just over $7 million or so this year. I would say in the 5 to 7 range, especially if you plan on him starting. That's fine. And you might be able to get him for a little less because you can guarantee him a starting job. The cap hit will certainly be pretty much, if it's a 1-year deal, exactly what you sign him for. But the room's there. I think it makes sense. And then the other thing, and Jeff, you mentioned this, there's no doubt Riley Reiff, I asked him about, are you willing to play guard? Because when they signed him, we were talking about Penei Sewell. And Penei Sewell, that at that moment and I look back today, March 19th, when Riley Reiff talked to us, it was like, oh yeah, Penei Sewell's going to definitely play tackle. Now that that thought process changed a bit as we got closer and closer to the draft.
Right.
But could Riley Reif kick inside? Absolutely. And now you really, because I think we know what Trey Hopkins is. Now your big question mark would be who? Jackson Carman? Yeah. Well, that's a great question mark to have, especially when you got Xavier Su'a-Filo and Quentin Spain on the bench. So I think it would give the Bengals a shot at having a top 16 offensive line, top half of the league. And I think that's unrealistic at this stage. But if you add a proven commodity like that, and now suddenly Reif is playing one of your guard spots, you have a couple backup guards that you feel really, really good about, that offensive line room just feels that much stronger.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, if you sign him, one of the guys that was on your starting offensive line last year, Michael Jordan, probably won't make the team. I mean, somebody's not going to. I mean, I would think it'd be either him or Spain, or not Spain, Su'a-Filo maybe. But I mean, that's the thing. Is somebody who you relied on last year probably gets bumped out, and that's, to me, that's a good. Nothing against those guys, but that's a good thing. That's upgrading your talent, and that's what we all want them to do.
No doubt, and so that's certainly part of it, because now you have guys like Spain and Su'a-Filo who could be your backups and play either guard spot, and then Akeem Adeniji would be fighting. Right. And you're right. Michael Jordan would be fighting. And that's good. That's not a bad thing, because there are going to be injuries in training camp. There are going to be injuries early in the season. So it's nothing personal. But if you can boost your roster with a guy that you weren't expecting to be there, you do it. Now, do I think the Bengals will do this? Well, I think they're pretty comfortable with Riley Reif at right tackle. And that's the trouble. They're not moving Jonah inside right now. They believe in him. And so that's my concern. But should they? 100%. They should at least call, see what Moses is asking for on the market. And if he's, if he's got a reasonable asking price, I would say bring him in, because what's the one knock, by the way, on Jonah right now? It's not, is he capable? It's health. He's played 10 games in 2 years. Right. Well, Moses hasn't missed a start since 2015. So let's say Jonah goes down. You can move Riley Reif to left tackle and have a guy in, because that's where he played for the Vikings, by the way. Right. Yep. And then you have Moses at right tackle, and you still feel pretty good about the tackle spots.
Exactly. I mean, I agree with that. I don't know necessarily if the Bengals will do it, because it kind of feels like at this point last year, they were happy with their offensive line. None of us were, but they were. And I have a feeling that right now that they're happy with it, which is I'm happy with the line. Like you said, they weren't expecting Moses to be released, but hopefully they will kind of at least make the phone call and just check it out. Why not? What could it hurt? Just bring him in and good.
No, you're fine. I will say I think they're definitely having a conversation. You have to, and the conversation might be, if I have to put myself in that room, and again, I haven't talked to anyone since Moses was released, but you say, is it worth it pursuing this guy? And is he an upgrade? How much better is our line if we're kicking Riley Reif inside? One, is he better than Reif at right tackle? And I would say probably, even though it's close, he's a little younger
too. I mean, that age has to be a factor into that. I think.
Absolutely. And then you talk about Jonah Williams' durability. Deontay Smith, I like him, but he's a guy that's probably a year away from really contributing. Right. Akeem Adeniji could end up playing tackle, but again, do you want to bank on that? Same thing with Fred Johnson, and that could be a guy, by the way, who would lose his job potentially if you bring in a Morgan Moses. So that's the question that they're asking. And to me, banking on proven veterans versus, oh my gosh, Jonah Williams got dinged up. Now Riley Reif has to go to left tackle, and at right tackle, Fred Johnson's in there, Akeem Adeniji's in there. Now suddenly that's a question mark again, and you're concerned, and you can avoid that problem.
Yeah, you're in the same position you were last year. We got to stack talent, stack depth. Now let's get to the other exciting news that happened earlier this week, which was Jackpot Joe Burrow's doctor, and I will let you say his name because you did a way better job of saying the doctor's name than I did. I didn't even try it, but he said that Jackpot Joey is going to be ready game one. Yeah,
Dr. Neil Elatrash from Los Angeles, and
that's why you're the professional. I'm just a fan.
Yeah, so Joe Burrow, from what I've been told, in the timing makes a ton of sense, was in Los Angeles over the weekend. He got a checkup, had those tests done with Dr. Neil Elatrash, who performed the surgery, and flew back on Monday, which really lines up with him throwing to Joe Burrow or to Jamar Chase and CJ Uzomah yesterday.
Yep,
but
yeah, video on that, by the way.
No video. Hey man, you don't know how long it took me to try to confirm that right now. It's it's tough to confirm those things. I was on that for hours trying to get someone to say, yeah, we saw, so I was able to pull it off. But yeah, it's going well. He's attacking it, and I think it's great, because I think that means that he can do a lot during OTAs. Now, will they show us that? Will Burrow be throwing in front of the media? I would assume not. I think the team's going to hide that. But you know what can happen? Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and CJ Uzomah and T. Higgins, they can work out on their own. Or work out on the side before or after practice, stuff like that. And I would expect that to happen, because this team, they seem to be pretty motivated. And I don't think anyone's more motivated than Joe Burrow right now.
Exactly. Now you had a article, I think you put it out today, that there's actually one national analyst or whatever. I actually think the Bengals actually be pretty good this year, and it's Shine from Shine on Sports.
Yep. Yeah, Adam Shine. He's been bullish on Burrow, bullish on the Bengals. And look, I get it, because let's say the Bengals get Moses, don't get Moses, but the offensive line holds up. Mm-hmm. Why can't this offense average 30 a game?
That's what I said.
Why can't they? Because if Burrow is healthy and he takes a step forward in year 2, well, I look at this offense, and Joe Mixon is certainly going to be hungry. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, obviously Jamar Chase. If CJ Uzomah comes back, he had a pretty good rapport with Joe Burrow in the first game and a half. Caught his first touchdown.
Yep.
So to me, like, if you're averaging in that range, let's go lower, 27 to 30 points per game, you're going to win a lot of games. Yeah. And I still have questions about this defense, but I get why people are going to be bullish on the Bengals, especially as we get closer to camp and we keep hearing the Burrow's good, Burrow looks good. As long as those reports keep coming out, I think people will continue to talk. At least some people will get a little more bullish on the Bengals.
Well, I want to, that I always look at everything through orange sunglasses. So I don't know if you got to check this out. I tweeted this out, but like last week when the schedule came out. But this is my record for the schedule. Now, it could be a little over optimistic. I agree with you if you're saying that, but I do think the beginning of the season we have a very good shot of starting out 3 or 4-0. Honestly, I really do think the way they set the schedule up, they're hard teams, but it's not a gauntlet. At the end of the season, it's kind of a gauntlet. But I know 11-6, that's probably pie in the sky. But I don't know. What do you thinking the record might be, or have you even got to that yet?
Yeah, my initial reaction to the schedule, because I did the same thing you did on my YouTube channel, Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Shameless plug there, but
nope. Plug away, brother. Plug away.
No, I did the same thing, right? And it's fun to play the schedule game.
Yeah,
and I believe I was I think I was at 8 and 9, and so I saw some of those on there for you. And I think the key is, I'm not going to debate Kansas City in week 17. That's going to be a tough one. We'll see. But
I had picked one. I don't think we're going to lose 3 in a row. That's sure.
But anyway. It's okay. It's it could happen. Hell, it happened in 2003.
I've got pounded for that one. Everything. Oh, you have us loses to the Raiders, but beat Kansas City. I'm like, we can't win all of them.
What if Chad Henne plays the second half? You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So
yeah, exactly.
As far though is what I just saw there. I tried to digest it pretty quick. You have them getting off to a 6-3 start, and that's the key. The key is those first 4 to 5 games. You got to beat the Vikings at home. You got to go on the road and beat Andy Dalton or Justin Fields in his first or second start. You got to handle business against Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence. You got to win those games. You got to beat up on Detroit on the road, the Jets on the road. Those are games you have to win. Even the Raiders, that's a game where I look at like, man, you probably got to win that, because me, that last stretch, you absolutely could. But Pittsburgh, the Chargers, the 49ers. Then you got Denver. You got a break there. And then the last 3. And it's still not a break because it's on the road. It's still going to be tough. That's a tough defense. But then Baltimore, Kansas City, and Cleveland. You're talking about maybe the 3 best teams in the AFC going into the year. Not necessarily in that order. That's a tough end. So even if you have a winning record at that stage, you're going to have to win at least one of those three, like you said. So it's a good start is the key, because if not, this could unravel quick, especially after what's happened over the past couple of seasons. Yeah,
exactly. And one other thing I want to get, because I know you got to get out of here pretty quickly, but a couple of things I want to get down with you is you had my boy Bengal Jim on your show. You released that today, I think. At least I got to watch it today. Yeah. And I'm trying to help him out and get this out there as much as I can, as the Jungle to the Hall. And I think he said on your show that Willie Anderson is going to actually be up there with him.
Yep, that's his goal, is to get Willie up there. Willie said he's going to be able to make it work. So obviously you never know what's going to come up schedule-wise, but the plan as of now at least is for Willie Anderson to be up there June 19th. Would be amazing, right? And anybody that knows Bengal Jim and his tailgates knows that this event's going to be put together right. I heard there's multiple national outlets that are going to be there covering it. So this sounds like a blast.
So the biggest thing is what we need people. If you're going to go, we need you to register. That's the key to this whole thing. Bengal Jim needs to know how many people are coming. So please register. He's got a hotel set up. We're going to get a tour of the Hall of Fame afterwards. There's a brewery restaurant close to this hotel, so it's going to be a party. It's going to be fun. Like I said, it's not a protest. It's a rally. It's to celebrate our Bengals history. Ken Anderson, Ken Riley, and Willie Anderson, who all should be in the Hall of Fame. We're trying to work on the first two right now. Willie should definitely be next, but get as many Bengals fans as we can to get up there. Now, James, are you going to try to make it up there, or?
In a perfect world, I would. We'll see if I'll be able to make it happen. That'll be sort of right after OTAs wrap up, and I'll try to catch a little bit of shut eye, a little vacation maybe before training camp. So we'll see.
That's the funny thing. I'm literally leaving on vacation. Like my wife and daughter are leaving on vacation that Thursday, and I was supposed to leave that Saturday, but I pushed it back so I can go to this thing. So if I can do that. Then you Bengals fans should be able to. So I'm probably gonna miss. I was stay for the Hall of Fame, but I'm gonna miss all the beer drinking and stuff. I gotta go back home. So I'm gonna drive up and drive back.
You can do that there.
Right. Exactly. So if I can do that, you guys can make an exception and get up there. One more thing, James. Have you heard of Jeremy's new nickname for Tyler Shelvin yet? Have you been told? It's been all over Twitter.
I have not. What do we got?
Right, what we got here? Bayou Big Daddy Bayou.
That when I saw that man, I said that he reminds me of Big Daddy Wilkinson out of Ohio State, and I think he's going to play exactly the opposite that Wilkinson played. But when you look at the guy, you're like, that's Big Daddy right there. And where's he going to college? In the Bayou, man. So it's been just some fun between everybody just to talk about. But I'm not going to ask you about the defense this time. I'm going to wait because I know you got to go in like 4 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, it's all right, right? I mean, like you said, I have a few minutes. I like the Shelvin pick. I'm not going to pretend I knew a lot about him at the time,
right?
But in the AFC North, man, I look back to last year and what Baltimore did. They just run through the Bengals every year, it seems like now, with Lamar Jackson and that rushing attack. Cleveland clinched that Week 2 game where Joe Burrow's balling out in his second career game and keeping this bad Bengals roster, comparatively speaking, to the Browns roster in the game. And Baker Mayfield doesn't have to throw the ball at all in the final drive. They just hand off 8 straight times down the field, and they clinch the game. So that's why you go after a guy like Big Daddy Bayou. I like that. I'm going to send that to Dan Horde and see if he'll use that on the broadcast.
We told Dave Lapham about it. We gave that thing. Do you believe I had Dave Lapham on my show too?
I believe it. Yeah, you're getting everybody. Yeah, I think I certainly think Lap could pull that off. He could call him.
Oh yeah.
Oh
definitely. Your buddy from Locked On Bengals, Jake's going to be on Monday, so that's why I knew you had to get out of here by 6. So.
Gotcha. So, yep. Yeah. You can't keep Jake waiting. Otherwise he gets cranky. I can't be doing that.
Well, you got to make sure you got to ask him. This is what I need you to do on the podcast site. He came on my show yesterday and asked, since I'm strawberry, do I like strawberry milk or do I like chocolate milk? So you have to ask him. He never answered me. I said, what kind of milk do you like? He said, do you like strawberry milk or chocolate milk?
What is your go-to? Is your strawberry? It's got to be strawberry, right?
You would think so, but no, it's chocolate. I like chocolate.
Yeah, because chocolate's better. It's
Yes.
way chocolate
Yes.
milk.
The milk,
Now
yes.
strawberry ice cream.
Ooh.
I'm a mint chocolate chip guy myself. You know,
Oh,
There you go, my man.
Honestly,
my man.
my favorite ice cream is Grater's. It's called the buy one peanut butter and chocolate. Oh, it is freaking delicious. Yeah, and Grater's is awesome. So, and let's get to some of the questions here in the chat here before we guys have asked stuff here. How many moves do you expect with our salary cap space?
Not many. So that's the thing is like Morgan Moses, if they add him, that's probably your last big time. And I don't even know if I'd call him big time, but last significant free agent signing. I think a lot of that space, one, they might carry some of it over because they're going to have a lot of space next offseason, but they might be in a spot where they carry a little bit more over and really make a push. Because if they win 8 games, let's say, they're going to want to try to add another piece or two and make a real run. But with that said, I think it'll go to Jesse Bates, Sam Hubbard, those extensions. And then maybe a Morgan Moses or some other veteran offensive lineman and maybe one veteran defensive lineman. So I could see a couple signings before training camp, but nothing too crazy. Moses is probably the biggest name that is at least semi-realistic. Now
I have a question for you. We had Jamar Chase who did his first press conference Bengals uniform. That got all excited. And he thought Cincinnati was different. I guess he thought it was just going to be a stadium and a bunch of land or whatever. So he was supposedly driving around last weekend with a scooter and a disguise and everything. And I know Bengal Jim was out there walking around trying to find him, but did you ever find him or not? Or, did we ever find out the Explorer Cincinnati enough? Or
no, man, he must be as good at disguises as he is catching the football because I hadn't seen nothing, zero on social media and something like that. Could you imagine if you found Jamar Chase in a disguise? You'd have to get a picture.
Oh,
yeah,
I would have. Oh, yeah. I totally would have.
And so I think that's funny, but I will give Jeff Hobson props. He was like, what's your disguise, Jamar?
I love that.
Chase is too wise.
Yeah. I can't tell you that. But so we got OTA starting next week. We have the rookie minicamp, and then it's nothing until training camp, right? Isn't that the way the schedule goes?
Yep. So OTAs over the next month or so, and then there'll be some time off, and then we'll reconvene for training camp. And it's going to be a fun camp. I already know that. I think OTAs are going to be fun. And that's the thing, guys, is last year we had all those virtually. And so it didn't really feel like much was going on. It's going to feel like there's plenty going on over the next month or so.
Well, yeah, especially since we had nothing last year. Because that's the thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, we got rookie minicamp. We got OTAs. We didn't have any of that last year. So it's a lot of fun. Yep. All right, Jennifer's got a question here real quick. Do you think there's a chance for the Bengals signing Geno Atkins back?
Never say never. Never say never. It would make sense. Does Geno want to come back to Cincinnati? That's the question.
He wouldn't have to move.
And not the city. Yeah, that's what I would sell him on. Man, we're offering you the same as everybody else.
Right.
This $2 million deal or 1 year, whatever it is, $3 million deal. Just stay in Cincinnati, play alongside Larry Ogunjobi, a guy you mentored, and ball out. And then who knows? Maybe you sign here again or you sign elsewhere. And that's what I would do if I were the Bengals. I'd try to pitch him on that. But who knows? He could be being courted right now by Tampa Bay or one of these other contenders.
Right, exactly.
I got one before. All right, just a quick one. How do you feel when we turn it over to the defense with the players that we have signed, drafted, and it's coming? And we've kept Lou Armadillo, is what Jeff always calls him, until he learns how to stop a offense.
Yes.
But with what we have, we started the first time, we flip-flopped, and we restarted again. How do you feel about the defense, and how do you feel about Lou as a coach?
There are question marks all over this defense, starting with Lou Anarumo. Can he put together a competent defense? Well, he's certainly got his guys now. And that's what I would say is the past 2 off seasons, they've spent significant assets to give him players that he thought would fit his scheme, completely revamp the secondary. He's got a star in Jesse Bates. They really like Von Bell, obviously. So now it's up to Lou. Even if they don't bring in another 3-tech like a Geno Atkins, which is certainly a need based on their roster on paper, they should have enough to be better. That doesn't mean they need to be great, because
Right.
Most defenses
We're
in the
score 30
league,
points a game.
Exactly.
but they need to be top 20. If not, like before Zach is on the hot seat, I think Lou will be. So like, let's say they get off to a 1-4 start. I would assume it has more to do with the defense than the offense. Right. Who knows? So I think that there's a lot of guys that need to prove it. Lou Anarumo, obviously. Trey Waynes is in that boat. And DJ Reader coming back from injury. All these guys need to make a significant impact. And if they do, I think this defense could be pretty good. Their ceiling is at least 15th in the league, is average. But they need to get there. And there's a lot of question marks in that path, in the way that we need answers to over the next, 3 months or so before the season starts.
Man, awesome. I can't wait. I'll be there at
telling me there's a chance.
I'll be there in section 158 screaming my head off. So it'll be a blast. James, as always, dude, I appreciate it. I love having you on the show. Like I told Jake this the other day, I listen to you guys all the time. So definitely go check out Locked On Bengals and everything he does for all Bengals and Sports Illustrated and everything else.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me. It's always fun, and keep up the good work, guys.
All right, brother. Who day?
See ya.
Hey, guys.
See ya.
All right, that was cool. I always enjoy James. He's gotta go meet Jake. They gotta go do their podcast. So that'll be dropping sometime tonight. You guys can listen to it tomorrow.
Well, and just to have him as part of the show, I mean, he's just so into everything. It just getting the report of Burrow actually throwing the ball with
Chase and Higgins and
CJ
Uzama
and Chase, just to see that. I was thinking, that, and he said it's not easy just to get that much information. So imagine what it's like for James Rabin just to try to
get That's why, dude, just to get him on the show, I got to message him, and then like 3 days later he finally answers me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you come on.
yeah. And you got to give him his props for actually coming on and doing it and taking his time.
I appreciate it. Like I said, Jake's coming on Monday.
Yeah.
So
I
appreciate it. We got Alex Schubert coming on tomorrow. He was supposed to come on today, but he was gracious enough to move to Friday since James was coming on today. But me and Alex were I was on Alex's podcast called FU We Like the Bengals. And if you guys have not checked that podcast out, do me a favor, go check it out after we get off the air. Then you guys can go watch it. But Jeffrey Turner here is to win championships. I agreed to that to a certain extent, because Kansas City has won without a great defense, and then they've lost one. But it really wasn't because of their defense; they lost because of their offensive line. If you ask my opinion, so yes, defense wins championships. But if you have a great offense and an okay defense, you can win too. Like I said, I'm not sold on Lou Armadillo. I'm sold on the guys they have. I think Joseph Ossai is going to be good. I think Sample's going to be good. I think Big Daddy Bayou is going to be good. Trey Henderson we just signed. I think he's going to be good. I think Lou has got the players to run what he wants to run. Now, if he can scheme it right, that's my whole issue. And that's what I was talking about with Sands yesterday is can he scheme it right to put the guys in the right positions so that they are the most effective? And that, to me, has still yet to be determined.
You know what? And you're exactly right what you said there, too, with, what were they down? Their left tackle and right tackle? I mean,
they're down two linemen. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it was a guard and a tackle.
And it's turning into an offensive league. It really is. I still believe, defense wins championships just like everybody else, and everybody should, because if you got the best defense in the NFL, even if you're playing against one of the best offenses, you're going to be in the Super Bowl, most likely, or you're going to have one hell of a team. Right. So, it is what it is with that. I mean, you can make an argument either way.
Are you back? Or I'm back. One of us left.
There you go.
James says, or Jared, sorry. Does Burrow play in the preseason if he's ready? If it were me, I would say no. And I had forgotten about this. I cannot remember what podcast I was listening to. It might have been Locked On. I don't remember. But they said, I think it was Locked On. I think Jake said this, that Carson Palmer actually played a series the preseason and 6 when he came back. So I personally don't want Joe to play in the preseason, but if he's 100% ready, I wouldn't put I know Joe, put it this way, I know Joe would want to play. I know he would. I know he wants to get out there. He wants to play. He wants to get over with, So I wouldn't be surprised. But if it were up to me, no, I wouldn't let him play.
That's actually a good question because
which I think is funny because we're actually wondering if he's going to play in the preseason. And this guy right here kept saying the whole time he's going to be ready game one. And that guy kept going, well, I don't know. So my orange colored sunglasses worked out pretty good for me on that one.
You will take my lunch money if he is there. I promise. I believe he's going to be there now. I really do. I hope he is. But one thing that worries me it's not a bad worry. It's a good thing. But when you haven't played football because of his health, he's gotten healthy a lot faster than what we thought. But when you start and you go, 100 at that point, it's going to be like 140 days or something. And you haven't made a football move. You haven't ran around a dummy. If he's not able to do that, at least maybe for one series or like you said, like Palmer, then that kind of would worry me about starting him.
One thing that the doctor did say is he's a little bit ahead of schedule, to be honest. He's had no setbacks at all.
Yeah.
So it's looking really well. And I'm sure the only video that I've had of Joe throwing the football, let me see if I can find it if I have it on here. Or did I get rid of it? Was the one with him where he was throwing it with Jordan Palmer, which I think I got rid of that one. Yeah, I don't have it anymore. But that's the only video that I've seen of him throwing the football, and he was looking good. I mean, he wasn't like bending his knee really and put a lot of pressure on it, but I mean, he looked pretty good. And the thing is, they're going before he goes and plays the game. He's going to be running around. He's going to be moving. He's going to be doing football drills. That's going to happen. He's not going to do it. His first time he runs around anywhere or tries to make football moves, he's not going to be in the game. So he's going to be doing that before they let him go out and play. And Lavelle here has a interesting thing. He said when they play Washington in the preseason. And I know you had a comment earlier in here about maybe they should let him play against Washington to get the skeletons out, which might not be a bad idea. I don't know. But to be honest,
you got Chase Young.
Yeah, that's preseason. Dude, honestly, I don't even know how many starters are going to play in the preseason at all. And trust me, Chase Young, they're not going to be going out there to try to kill each other. Well, I think they won't hurt anybody in preseason. So I'm not even worried about that. But
I knew that'd get him going.
Well, you just say silly stuff sometimes. And it's like that's not even a real thing. But it would be interesting if it does play against Washington. Or a flush Terry. The answer is no. Lou Armadillo cannot maximize our talent otherwise. I think the Bengals make the playoffs. I think they're gonna make the playoffs, and I really hope that Lou can actually coach better because he's actually got the guys to. I think stop the run this year and put pressure on the quarterback because I was talking about this with Sands. I think my coach Mike or Matt here earlier this week. When it comes to the Ratbirds and the Clowns, it wasn't the passing game that beat us with those two teams. It's the running game, and with DJ Reader and Ogunjobi and Big Daddy Bayou and everybody else, Mike Daniels. If they're healthy, which they weren't last year, we should be able to stop the run a lot better than we did last year. And if we do that, then you're going to make Baker Mayfield beat you or Lamar Jackson beat you. And I think the Bengals actually kind of figured out how to subsidize Lamar Jackson with Darius Phillips. He put him on him, and he was able to contain him a little bit. We're talking about that with, I think, Sands or somebody in the first game against the Ravens. If you remember that, Lamar didn't break out. It was the running backs that killed us. They're three-headed monster that killed us. So that's the thing. If our run defense can actually stop the run and our pass rushers can get to, because we're actually going to have multiple pass rushers. We basically had 2 pass rushers last year, and Hubbard was hurt half the year. So, I mean, Lawson was basically our only pass rusher. I mean, I can count 4 guys right now that you could put out there that should get pressure on the quarterback. Just by talent alone, our defense should be better, right?
Yeah, and actually to even add to that, I mean, what you were talking about with Lou, and I guess you can even bring Zach into this category or into this conversation, but we've had 2 years now. We have defense, spent money, everybody was happy, and then last year everybody got hurt. Now we got rid of a lot of our backfield, brought in a lot of new guys, but I think they're good players. Mm-hmm. How long it takes for them to mesh, I don't know that. But I do think that we have good players, just like James was saying, that we're not going to be a top 5 defense, most likely. But we do
top 16, that would help, like you said.
Exactly. And we do have the talent there. It just needs to be used right, and we cannot waste another year after this year.
If you look at the 05 team, and that's why I'm kind of comparing this team a lot to the 05 team. It would have been Carson Palmer's 3rd year, just as Joe Burrow's 2nd year. But that defense, it wasn't they got like a ton of pressure or anything, but they were a very opportunistic defense. They got a lot of interceptions and turnovers and stuff. That's could be what the Bengals are this year. But I actually think pressure-wise on the edges, this team might be more talented defensively than that team was. Because, I mean, I can't even – honestly, you had who were they had the linebacker who had that really 51. He had that one really good year, and he could have been a great linebacker, and then he couldn't get his life straight. And he had David Pollock. And then I can't remember who an edge rusher was before that. I could see him in my head. He's number 91, but I can't think of his name. But I mean, it wasn't like they got a ton of pressure.
No, was 93.
This is before Michael Johnson. But anyway, my point is that team didn't have a great defense. Yeah, Odell Thurman was the one. Okay, but who 91? Who was 91? That's what I'm trying to think. He was the edge rusher we had. I can't remember his name. But that team didn't have a ton of pressure. We were just a very opportunistic defense. So it wasn't a great defense. It was a good enough defense. We had a great offense. And if Carson doesn't get hurt, you never know what's going to happen. All right. Get to the orange era here. And he's got a good point here. He said Chicago had one of the best defenses in the league and couldn't make it, which they did. And the thing that they didn't have is a quarterback. And like I said, we get the biggest thing. Yeah, everybody said, Odell Thurman. Yeah, I know. Who was 91? That's what I'm trying to remember. Odell Thurman was linebacker. 91 was the edge rusher. And I cannot remember. Anyway, let's see. Roy said Joe may play. I know. I'm just going to come to figure it out. Joe may play a little preseason just to work on his time. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that. And that's kind of what I could see happening. Me personally, I'm kind of like, I'd just rather just wait until, season starts. Not Odom. No, Odom was after. We're talking 95, Foxy. 95. Odom was after that. I cannot remember his freaking name. David Pollock is who you're talking about. Yep, Pollock. Yeah, you all got the linebackers right. I'm talking about the edge guy. I cannot remember his name. Damn it, it's killing me. I can see his name. I can see his number. I can see his face. I can see everything. But I cannot remember it. But anyway, that just goes to show we didn't play edge rushers in 05. And that's kind of, and it wasn't a great defense. But we won the AFC North there. And we had a really fun, awesome year, Yeah. So that's where I'm like, if our offense can be anywhere close to what the 05 offense was, which I really think we got a great shot of doing, we can make the playoffs. Because nobody thought 05 we were going to make the playoffs. We were one of the best teams in football that year. We were going to the playoffs. We were pretty highly ranked and thought of to make a Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm comparing. And we might be a year away from that because I said that was Carson's 3rd year. No, not Frosty Rucker. I remember Frosty. Frosty was
Frosty. Guy. He was 92, I think.
Yeah. But that's what I'm just saying. If the defense doesn't have to be great, but with the talent they have, I think they have a chance to be really good if Armadillo can put it together. Kind of what I do too, man. I mean, I see the freaking Yes, there it is. Gathers. That was his name.
Robert
go, Jeffrey. Gathers.
Robert Gathers.
Yes. God. I was driving. I'm like, what the hell is it? Yeah. Robert Gathers was like the only one, only pass rusher we really had. It took what? All this 10 minutes. There's 37 people watching this, and it took one person. It took like 10 minutes to get there.
I think
Crip
he forgot he played for the Bengals by now.
Jason Buck played on the '88 Super Bowl team. Crip, come on now. Foxy jumps in, Gathers now. Like, you're a little late, Foxy. You already got it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I remember.
Anyway, sorry, Gathers. Go ahead, man. I didn't mean to mess your thought up, but go ahead.
Oh no, I don't even remember what we were talking about now. To be honest with you,
that is surprising. You see, Jeremy really pays attention to the show here.
Yeah. Right.
But I got a question for you. And see, it's kind of I actually get to talk to you, because you've been out, and I talked to a whole bunch of other people. But the rookie minicamp was this week, and a lot of Bengals fans, a lot of people on the chat here have been blowing me up saying Puka Williams this, Puka Williams that. Do you see Puka potentially being our punt returner? As I like Darius Phillips, but I also think you need a backup guy in case Phillips gets hurt because he is, injury prone. So what do you thought? What's your thoughts on Puka?
I love the name, and I can only imagine what Lap or Dan or somebody would have to say, with running one back. But it's almost such a they've changed it so much now where it's not as much of a big deal as if you have a Deion Sanders or somebody like that now. So, Puka, Phillips, I haven't really got to watch. I don't know if
somebody who's not going to fair catch it on the 5-yard line. That's what I would prefer.
That's
how many times Erickson fair catch? Like, dude, you're on the 5. I'm like, if you're going to let it bounce and see if it goes to the end zone. Oh my goodness.
Couldn't stand that. But this Puka guy, I've never watched him. I don't.
Well, this is where I think the competition is going to be. And Chris LeVar says Chris Evans is better than Puka. Now, see, Chris Evans, as far as I know, has never done it before. At least in college. I don't know if he did it in high school or anything like that. And from what I've read in the mini rookie camps here, Puka was actually practicing taking punts, and Chris Evans wasn't. So, because Chris Evans was kind of the guy I thought maybe they would do it too. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But either way, hopefully they get somebody who can actually. Like I said, I want somebody to. I miss Pac-Man. Pac-Man would always bring it out.
He ruined it.
I like guys that go for it. I don't like conservativeness all the time.
Yep.
If you're scared, you're gonna lose. You play scared, you're gonna lose. You don't play scared. You go.
He'd catch that ball with 4 guys around him. He didn't care, and then he'd try to out-juke all of them. I mean, that's how he played the game. And that's what it comes down to. In our special teams, that's one thing that's never gotten enough love is our special teams. Darren Simmons, I think, is a great coach. And whether it's Puka or Phillips, I like Phillips. So,
we got a couple guys. We got a couple guys in the chat here wanting to talk Reds, and I honestly I don't really want to talk Reds, but I can. They lost 8. I think it was 18-1. I don't know. I mean, there's a couple guys saying, "Oh, we should trade this and trade that." I think Lance McAllister tweeted this out, and this time last year we are only 1 game worse. This year at the same time as we were last year, if that makes any sense. So we're in basically exact same position we were last year. So if they get on a hot streak, which I still think can, would they start the season 6-1? I am not giving up on them. Luis Castillo looks like he's finally starting to come around. The problem is we're really injured right now. Moose is on the IL. Gino still isn't Gino, but right now we need him because Moose is out, Senzel is out, Votto is out. So I think we're going to turn it around. Like I said a little bit about it yesterday, what really has irritated me is the front office. Their lack of doing anything at all to improve the team. You just had to improve it a little bit. Like what really irritated me, if you watch any of the game today, it was on YouTube TV, and they showed 3 Giants pitchers. All 3 of them, 2 of them were with the Reds last year. Wood was with the Reds 2 years ago. All 3 of them are former Reds. We could have kept those guys, especially Disco. DeSclafani, I never thought we were going to keep Trevor Bauer. I wasn't delusional in thinking that was going to happen. But DeSclafani, yes, I thought we'd keep him. I don't know why they couldn't pay him the $6 million or whatever he got from the Giants to keep him. You knew you needed a shortstop. You did nothing. And that has screwed this entire infield up. So that's the part that pisses me off is what the lack of what they did in the offseason. But they still have a chance to make the playoffs. Are they going to go far in the playoffs? I don't think so, but I think they have a chance to make it. Now, I'm hoping and holding out hope for is maybe they'll get their heads out of their ass and try to make a trade, a good trade, not trade guys away, a good trade. Get us a shortstop in there. Get us some more bullpen help. Get us something, because fixing that shortstop is going to be a huge key. And I know I said put Gino there because I didn't know who else to put there. They didn't have any other options other than Farmer. And Jonathan India has played so good, they wanted to get his bat in the lineup. So it made sense to move Gino to shortstop. But if they would have fixed it in the offseason, they wouldn't have this problem anyway.
Sorry. Hey, ran on, dude. I know how it's upsetting because now we got injuries to look forward to, which is always a blast, whether it's 2 games, whether it's a week or 3 weeks or whatever. It still takes away your players. So now you're going to have more young guys, and that we've got to win some games. We can't just fly by the wind and say, oh, it's injuries. We've got to win some games so these guys can get back and we can start getting on a roll again. And because I've never seen, I called us a roller coaster, I think last year. But anyway, and that's what it seems like we're on with the Reds. We're
on the downhill. We lost 4 in a row of the Giants.
Yeah, and soon you never know. We can make that twisty turn and flip back upside down and score 25 runs tomorrow or when. You never know.
Now, LeVar here says, he said, "What do you want more, Iceman? A Reds championship or a Bengals Super Bowl?" Me, I've already experienced a Reds championship, so I want a Bengals Super Bowl. I want both. But if I have to choose, I want a Bengals Super Bowl. Like I said, I was old enough. I experienced the 1990 team, and it was awesome. Great childhood memory. I wouldn't trade it for a world. But if we could win that Super Bowl in 80, and Bagel Jim has talked about this all the time, in 80 and 81, when we went to the Super Bowl, this town was going freaking nuts. It's different. We went nuts when the Reds won the World Series. But if the Bengals can win a Super Bowl, this town will be going freaking crazy.
Just the economy for Cincinnati and just and the vibe and the feel and oh my gosh, we've never won. We've never had the feeling of winning a Super Bowl. We do that. Like I said, Lord knows what we may end up doing. I just hope it isn't stupid, and I hope we have bail money.
You're going streaking. We already know what you're doing. Royal Flush Terry says it's hard to fill a stadium 100% capacity when you're putting on performances like today in the past week. I agree with you. And a lot of it, like beginning of when we were 6-1, we were killing the ball. Everybody was hitting. Everybody was hitting except for Votto and Gino. Now right now, the only ones that are hitting is Castellanos and Winker. Nobody else is really hitting. And our pitching isn't the greatest. It's okay. But I mean, Luis Castillo pitched. He actually pitched good enough to win the other night. He struck out 11 guys. He had 1 bad inning. Yeah, he gave a 3-run homer, but the Reds, they were no hit through 5 innings. I mean, right now the Reds are injured, and I think that's a big problem. Before it was the bullpen. And the bullpen of late hasn't been bad. So it's like it's at first it was this, then it's this. That it's like they're plugging holes in a dam. And they can't get them all plugged up. So hopefully we can make it to the All-Star game. We're still within striking distance. And I hope this front office does something to help, to try to win this freaking thing. I mean, Kessia, no. Whatever the hell the Reds there. Too many Castros. He wants to win. He's got to put his money where his mouth is. He bought the team. He went and did all this stuff last year, got all these guys, and then the next year, don't give me this crap that you didn't make any money. No Major League Baseball team finished in the red last year. None of them did. Y'all made money. Every single one of them. No fans. Y'all made money. So don't give me this crying poor thing, you know?
Yep.
So, and the funny thing is, so I think Orange Air put it in here. He said, I think they came out us more. I think you're talking about the Bengals now, which is funny because it wasn't that long ago. It was the exact opposite. We were thinking that the Reds care more about us than the Bengals do. So, exactly. Right. And that's, it's just frustrating because all you had to do, like, I mean, it's easy to read $10 million, spend $10 million or whatever, and fix this damn team.
Dude, you are so dead on when you talk about trying to plug holes. It reminds me, I don't know how many people like Chevy Chase, but it reminds me of the movie National Lampoon, Vegas Vacation, where he sees a leak, puts bubble gum over top of it. Next thing you know, another one pops, and he's running around everywhere, and that's exactly what the Reds are doing. And you just put it into perfect context, and it's even in a movie. So you nailed it.
Crown's option is to bring up Hunter Green. I don't think that's a good idea. I think next year, September, we'll bring him up. I'm not in a big hurry to bring him up now. I mean, you want to bring him up, that's cool. I don't think bringing up two guys that are rookies in the middle of a pennant race who did not have a full year of minor league baseball last year and bring them up now, I don't think it's a good idea. Maybe the Reds will. I mean, they're pitching great in Double-A. I mean, maybe the Reds change their mind and bring them up, but there's been many, many, many times, Homer Bailey to be one, where they brought starting pitchers up too early and they weren't ready, and they never became as good as they could be. So I would rather wait and make sure they are ready to bring them up. And if they're ready, then we're going to have a really good 1-2 punch for years to come. So
yeah.
How did they wait too long? Who tell me who did they wait too long for Garcia? Last year they brought Garcia up, shortstop. Where's he at now? He's in Double-A. No, they don't wait too long. That's a problem. They don't. I mean, let's look at the Cuban Missile. He was supposed to be a starting pitcher. They brought him up too early, and now he's a reliever. They could have kept him in the minors and made him a starting pitcher. No, that's wrong, Crown. They don't. They wait. They don't wait too long. Sorry. Anyway.
I'll let you guys have that one out.
Yeah, see, we're talking baseball, and Jeremy's down Alabama, and he doesn't pay attention. Look at other teams. Yeah, they all wait to bring their guys up to the ready.
I get to watch like 2 Reds games a week, so I don't want to try to act like I know more than what I know, but I do know my Reds, but older Reds till now. But now it's 2 days a week. That's tough. It's hard to go back and forth with you on the bench or whatever else when you watch them 2 days a week.
Now, Royal Flush says, I'm looking forward to Bearcats challenging for the college football playoff spot and seeing what the Bearcats or Bengals can do. The cool thing is about the Bearcats is they actually have a really good shot of having 3 number one first round picks for the first time ever. I mean, now Desmond Ridder, which, I mean, take it for what it's worth. It's way too early prognostication, but he is projected to be the number 2 quarterback drafted. So, I mean, these are huge things for the Bearcats. And, yeah, I think the Bearcats will have a very, like Chad Burrow said, they said they're going to have a top 10 defense this year. They got
Is Ridder going first? Is that what they're
overall
thinking?
No, just saying first.
Just for Cincinnati, just for your team.
Is he going first? What?
Like out of the Cincinnati Bearcats, whoever gets drafted first.
No. There's three number one picks. Ridder could be the first quarterback taken, but the quarterback class isn't that big next year. He could be in the first round.
So. I got you. Because I like Ridder.
Ritter's going to work on his deep ball. He gets that deep ball going, he's going to be dangerous.
And the funny thing about last year, and switching back over to the Bengals real quick here, was, Joe Burrow at LSU, it was bam on the long ball. And then this last year with Cincinnati, we just had that missed timing by just a little bit, just a couple. And that's another thing. I hope they get a work on. I hope he's healthy enough to do it. He don't have to run around and do it. Just get that timing. And man, let's see the long ball. I like
Sauce Gardner. He's gonna be a first round pick. That dude, that quarterback is good for the Bearcats. I agree, Terry. Sauce.
That's awesome.
Get low. What's up? I had to make sure that the rebuild of Joey B was better, stronger, faster. That's why I was away so long. Well, thank you for your contribution, Get low. I'm glad you did what you could, and it has worked, and he is going to be back game one. Yeah, Crowd, you're saying Oklahoma's quarterback will go number one. Yeah, I'm not saying Ritter will go number one. I said Ritter, it will be a potential first-round pick. I did say he'd be the first quarterback going, but you're right. Oklahoma quarterback will probably be first. I mean, it's a year away. I honestly don't know, but we'll see. And Dallas Burrow is going to be dangerous. You are correct.
Holla.
Spencer Rattler.
Oh, is that
heck? What did you just have? Did you just have an airplane fly over your house or a train?
Actually, yes, I did.
All right. Do you think Puka Williams will have a chance at running back or punt returner? I think Puka has to be a special teams guy. That's how he's going to make the team. Special teams. And now where it goes from there, I don't know. But he's got to be a special teams guy for sure. Excuse 100%. Me, Ohio State will always be the best team in Ohio. Congratulations. Thanks for sharing, Dallas.
My boy.
I don't think I said anything like that. But all right, Dallas, whatever.
Hey, I'm sorry about all the child support I never paid.
What child support?
I'm telling Dallas. He's my boy.
Dallas is your illegitimate son? That's
yes,
scary.
And I never sent a check, and I'm sorry. So.
Oh, my goodness.
I love you, Dallas.
Man. It's 6:29. I think we're going to roll on out of here. Won't we get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream? And I appreciate every single one of you guys. I know I'm on other Bengals Facebook groups that I don't mention, but honestly, I can't sit here for 20 minutes and mention all of you guys. But everybody who's live streaming on any of the Facebook groups, thank you. I appreciate you guys. But I got to give a shout out to the ones that helped me out the most. Houday Nation, a great Bengals group. Cincinnati Reds riding third, heading for home. Bearcat Country, a great Bearcat group. And I know I mentioned all the Bengals that are Bengals family members who are on Houday Nation. Bearcat Country has a lot of Bearcats, former Bearcats in this group. So it's if you are a Bearcat fan and you want to get some real insight from some Bearcats who are in this group, go check out Bearcat Country. You got the Ohio State Bucknuts, or guys like that guy right there who likes the Buckeyes in Dallas. I'm sure Dallas has joined. If Dallas didn't join, he's not a very good Buckeye fan. That's all I got to say. And then you got the Ice Bar, which is a virtual bar show page. You can join on there. We can have some fun conversations like we do during the show. You can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Twitter at Jeff A. Trenopole. That's TRENNEPOHL. I'm on Instagram, TikTok. All those are under Sports with Strawberry Ice. TikTok's handle is Iceman90. I'll be pulling a sound off later on tonight. It'll be on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you like, rate, and review. YouTubers, like I said, we're at 1,116 subscribers. That is awesome. We get to 10,000. I will give something away. I don't know what. We get to 10,000 subscribers. I will find something. It won't be the Jackpot Joey shirts, which eventually I am going to give these away again. I got a couple more. The problem is though, I only got larges. So if you're bigger than a large, these won't fit you. so if I do Bengal trivia tomorrow or something like that, or next week, and give some of these shirts away again, just remember, answer the question. The shirt large. That's all I got. We're getting some more.
think we have lost Jeff for a second, guys. 1 minute here. His internet's been kind of in and out, if you've noticed a little bit throughout the show.
Stupid internet.
He's back. All right, there he is. There's the man.
All right, let's get so YouTubers 1,116. And other than that, Jeremy D,
Yep.
you help us roll on out of here.
I sure will, man. And you know what? I went into the vault this week, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to take out one of my old poems, and I'm going to just throw one up there. It's the 5-month anniversary, I believe, for this poem. And it's called Bengals Poem. Well, fans, 'tis the time of love and cheer. It was during Christmas time, by the way. By the way, Steeler fans, I hope last night ruined your Christmas and your New Year. We whooped them, just so you guys know. Now on to Juju. You can't say you weren't told. Bell warned you last week, then he knocked your ass out cold. So I hope you learned not to dance in the jungle, or next year you will find yourself in the same place with your block knocked off and fumble. Now I'm getting nice. Now, on to you, Big Ben. All washed up, throwing picks. It was almost as embarrassing as you getting caught with your pants down at a Motel 6. So all Bengal fans, enjoy your Christmas and your New Year. Sit around the tree. And as always, remember one thing and one thing only. And
everybody
that
all
is,
together now.
you don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati. Who day? Love you guys. Hey, sorry for being a little off on the show today. I promise I will be better soon. Go ahead.
Well, hope I gotta get the hell out of here before my internet kicks me off again.
Yeah.
So let's get the hell out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Other than that, that's just sports, baby. See ya!